If you're looking for the next Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, or Javonte Williams in this class, it ain't going to be their sway. It ain't. But it's got, I would say it's a lot more meatier. Like, there's a lot of good prospects in this class, and we're going to go over the top 10, unless, of course, you're a Bro Scout tier member. Then you're going to get, I think, like 28 backs. Wow. What a bargain. What a bargain. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro, and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you appreciate the content. And, of course, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love having that nice, beautiful, sensual football discourse down there. So let's go have it down there. But this running back class, it's good. Number 10, Ronnie Rivers out of Fresno State, man. The guy doesn't have ideal size. I would prefer if he would put on like 5 to 10 pounds to get that nice low center of gravity, because at 5'9", when you get to that 200, 210 range, you feel good about the center of gravity and the ability of these guys to kind of like have good contact balance. Also, he's going to be one of the older prospects in this class. He's going to be 23 at the beginning of his rookie season. But the guy has plenty of good tape. He has real nice contact balance despite only being 195, which, again, that's a college 195. He could be maybe playing at like maybe a 185, especially considering that he was 165 coming into Fresno as a freshman. But 27 forced missed tackles on 99 carries, 8 forced missed tackles on 27 receptions through 5 games in 2020. Very nice. The guy can accelerate, especially when he goes to turn it upfield after breaking it on the outside. Like, this guy, he gets to the outside, rounds that corner, and then hello, goodbye. Kind of a home run threat in that regard. I do like that 10. We didn't see a ton, but 10% of his receiving snaps have came either in the slot or on the boundary. So they like to get creative with them. Would like to see them do that a bit more, maybe mainly in the slot, but it is what it is. Again, I would like to see. I want to see him get to that 200 range at the very least. I'm kind of curious what his actual size might be when he does weigh in at the combine. But the dude, from a play standpoint, big fan. Number 9, Sincere McCormick, one of my favorite prospects in this class. If you remember our NCAA, what was it? Program rebuild, whatever the heck you want to call it. We went to UTSA, and I was like, man, Sincere McCormick's kind of dope. Some of y'all told me, oh, he's actually pretty darn good. Went, looked at him. I love him. 63 forced missed tackles last season. Was tied first among 2022 prospects. Great low center of gravity. As we were talking about how I wanted Rivers to get that 200, that's where Sincere McCormick is, and he actually looks it. But he really it's not like he's relying on taking contact. Not that to say he can't be physical when he can be, because he certainly can. But he relies a lot on that agility. He really just explodes through some holes, and he's got that off to the races speed. Best believe it. Sometimes he could sit behind the line of scrimmage a little bit too long, and I'd like to see him be a bit more decisive, but when he is, he's really slippery when he goes through running lanes. He can get real small real quick. I like that. I think he has the ability to be a receiving threat. It's just there at UTSA, we haven't really seen it. He hasn't really been given the opportunity. They just don't use him in that manner. But number 8, we got Kyren Williams out of Notre Dame. A lot of people are a lot higher on him than I am. I just happen not to be that. But let's talk about the good. Huge receiving upside. He took 22 snaps in the slot. He does remind me a bit of Demetric Felton, but I do think that Williams is a better athlete, at least compared to how Felton tested at the combine. I would say yes, Williams is probably going to be a better athlete and probably boasts some better size. He's a bit heavier. I'm just saying their skill set is very similar. Anyway, fluid athlete. He gets to top speed very quickly. When he does, good luck catching him. Why am I down on him? compared to everyone else. 5 fumbles. I don't like to see that. 10% drop rate. That's high for receivers. Best believe that's high for receiving running backs. You can't tell me that the thing that's supposed to be your shining beacon, the thing you do well, the receiving upside, you can't tell me you have a 10% drop rate. Max Borghi, one of the most passed, thrown to running backs in this class, only a 2.3% drop rate. Williams, you got to get better. I want to see that be better this year. Against top competition, I think his performance kind of did fall off a cliff. He had less than 3 yards after contact and only averaged a little less than 2 forced missed tackles when he had to face teams like Bama, like Pittsburgh, who boasted a very good defense last year, Clemson, both games. So I just want to see him take his play to that special place despite the level of competition. They're an independent team. They're going to have a pretty darn good schedule, so he's going to get plenty of opportunities to do that. Number 7, Chris Rodriguez Jr. This man is a big power back that does big power back things, dude. He's got great contact balance, good low center of gravity, 5'11", 224. Oh my. Might be one of the best inside zone running backs in this class. 41% of his carries were either touchdowns or first downs. Those are 2 good downs, a first down and a touchdown. But the guy's constantly getting to the second level. He relishes contact. He's like, yes, please, sir, may I have some more? More? Yeah, more contact. Bam, beat you up. I will say, I don't want to say he looked gassed down the stretch, or at least as he took on more carries. Keep in mind, last year was his kind of first year as a lead back, I would say, has taken a majority of the snaps. So I would say just because he saw such an increase in volume, I expect him to handle it much better this year. So I don't really even think that's an issue. The real thing is lawn speed. He's a power back. You know what he is. He's not going to break it off to the house a lot of times, but he will break people. I would also like to say unknown as a receiver. Complete unknown. Complete question mark. We have no clue. And I got a theme for receiving backs. I can't help it. Number 6, Zonovan Knight. Zonovan Knight. There we go. NC State. He had 5th most forced missed tackles last season at 48. Very shifty, displays very good contact balance. The dude never stops his feet. The dude churns and churns and churns. He's like the little engine that could, except for he's 5'11", 210. He just keeps churning those feet. I love seeing feet that don't stop. Don't stop moving, or churning. I should say churning. What am I doing? Anyway, he was very elusive. I think some of his best runs came when he either bounced on the outside or was designed to go to the outside. Keep in mind, inside zone blocking scheme, that's the heavy blocking scheme. That's kind of like where they want him to go. So more times than not, if he's going to the outside, he's really, it's him improvising. So, but because of the blocking scheme there, I think he's a very patient runner, and he's actually very sudden. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, he does get a bit too high for my taste, like he runs high. I think it's kind of ludicrous to think what his forced tackle total might be if he were to run just a little bit lower. So, and imagine that contact balance too. So I like it. I like it a lot. In terms of his receiving upside, he does running back things. Like he does the running back route tree, the basic running back route tree, swings and screens, 6 drops on 37 targets. Kind of yikes. So it kind of is what it is. Regardless, I like this guy's running style. I think if he gets stronger in the lower body, then he's going to pick up a lot more yards. Like I said, the guy never stops moving his feet. Imagine if there was a lot more mass behind them feet. So, yeah, I like the guy. Let's take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest and the best place to go play fantasy football for big cash prizes. Ooh, wee. And let me tell you, Underdog, they got you covered. All you have to do is draft. No need to worry about injuries, waivers, or lineups. Underdog, they got you covered. So go online or use the app, which is pretty slick, and just draft a season-long best ball team, and they take care of the rest. No in-season management required. And they're willing to give you $25 when you sign up, so you can take a shot in their $1 million fantasy football tournament, or you can play in some other best ball leagues, or even make prop bets. Now you get that free $25 on Underdog when you use the promo code BROSCHMO. It's free to sign up, so use promo code BROSCHMO. Bam, you get your $25 once you make your first deposit. So drop a buck in there, bam, you got $26. You big spender, y'all baller. But go ahead, support Underdog. It helps me out. It's always much appreciated, much obliged. And if you're looking for more fantasy content from me, check me out on TikTok at BroSchmo. The link's in the description below. And then we got Jerrion Ealy at number 5. This guy is a playmaking nightmare. He might be the best offensive playmaker in the running back class. Probably I end up moving him a bit higher. It's just obviously from just looking at him, 5'8", 190. You already know size, kind of a concern. But again, offensive weapon. You got to think of him like that. Shoot, if Tutu Atwell could go in the second round, there's a good chance Ealy could too. Workload, I'm not worried about that. He'll never be a 20-touch guy in the NFL. Who is nowadays? There's like a very small group of guys that consistently get 20 touches. This man's going to be a complementary piece to any running back room. Because you could slip this guy in the slot as well. There's a lot of fun things you can do with him. Former 4-star recruit. Even if you get a hand on him, because good luck getting a hand on him, there's a chance he could break it off. You ain't arm tackling this guy sometimes. I think in the NFL you will be. Those arms are a lot stronger in the NFL than they are in college, but still, I really like how he bounces off contact. He's a very crisp route runner. 7 forced missed tackles on 36 receptions. 78 forced missed tackles on 250 carries through 2 seasons. 40 big-time runs on just 147 carries. You like that. Light on his feet, stupid elusive. Speed makes him a home run threat at any given moment. He is a back that works in today's NFL. Just not the back. So, number 4, Kennedy Brooks. I'm a huge fan of Kennedy Brooks. I can't help it. He's got that Marshawn-esque like running style. I'm kind of just a sucker for. I know a lot of people should be. A lot of people forget how good this guy is because he opted out of the 2020 season, but he had back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons from 2018 to 2019. He had the highest rate of 10-plus yard carries. I'm sure there's a better way of putting that. 10-plus yard runs. There we go. Of anybody. Kind of wild. 88 forced missed tackles on 274 attempts, carries through 2018 to 2019. If you were to compare that to Najee Harris, he'd be very similar in terms of his forced missed tackles, and that's actually better than Breece Hall, who we're going to talk about later on in this list. So, yeah, I can't wait to watch this guy this season. I'm stupid excited. A lot of people would be like, well, do you think Eric Gray's going to eat into his snaps? Heck nah. Heck no. Brooks is amazing, man. He doesn't have elite speed, but the dude's just elusive. He shrugs off contact. Again, Marshawn Lynch-esque running style. This ain't a comp. I'm saying they got similar running styles. Shades of, as you would say. Not a lot of receiving upside, but he has been kicked into the slot every blue moon. So every now and then. And outside, actually, too. But I really think he has the ability to do that if they want him to. I'm a big fan. Number 3, Kenny McIntosh. I am a huge fan of Kenny McIntosh. I think he is clearly the better back there at Georgia. If we're going to compare him and Zamir White, he's just a dynamic athlete. Way more dynamic than Zamir White. And I mean, we could go with, let's compare how they did last year in terms of touches. White, he had 150 touches, which was almost 2/3 more than what McIntosh had. Anyway, 150 touches, 28 forced missed tackles. Let's take a look at McIntosh. 57 touches, 23 forced missed tackles. Just saying, I'm a big fan of forced missed tackles. It's kind of translates to the NFL. It might be the most important stat, but obviously you got to have context. You got to have context behind any analytic, any statistic. Just going to say it checks out with me. I love McIntosh. The dude's extremely explosive. He's a speedster. You see it in the return game. He shows good vision. At least patience, I would say. The vision, it'll come. It'll come as he gets more opportunity. I don't know how much opportunity he'll exactly get being behind White. Maybe Georgia's like, oh, wow, we got the better back here. Let's give him more carries. And hopefully they do. The guy's really shifty, very fluent athlete. Unfortunately, there at Georgia, doesn't get a lot of opportunity to be very dynamic in the receiving game. He runs, your basic route tree as a running back. He has a sick wheel route, though, that went for a big gain, but he's got the receiving upside. I'm in love. Might not come out just because he's currently not lined up to be the starter. Really hope he does, though. I'm a big fan. Number 2, Isaiah Spiller. So I only got 2 second-round backs in this class. Spiller being one of them. I think his game is just translatable to the NFL. He's going to see a lot of success. While he doesn't, I don't think he does. He's not a very. I was just talking about how McIntosh was a very dynamic athlete. That's just not Spiller. That's not his game. He's a big back. He likes to do big back things. He took a big jump last season in terms of how he handled contact. He went from 28 forced missed tackles to 44. Great lower body strength, probably some of the best in this class. But he's a lot lighter on your feet than you would expect from a big back. The dude moves like he's playing at 205. Like, he lays the lumber around the line of scrimmage, but when he gets to that second level, he's got a little shake. He got a little shimmy to his game. I like that. I like that about him. He does get a little too tall for his own good. We were kind of talking about that with Zonovan Knight. So that just becomes an issue. I think it's more excusable for Isaiah Spiller, who's sitting there at 6'1", 6'2", to play a bit higher than the 5'11" Knight. But still, if this dude lowers a little bit, I think, he's gonna break off a lot more tackles. But he's never gonna be the tear off big gains type of guy, or he's not a home run threat. I should really put it that way. He's never gonna be a guy that breaks the big gains. He's gonna consistently get you 10+ yard gains, which is great. But don't expect him to take it to the house. He only had 8 carries that went for 20 yards or more. Keep in mind this was on 188 rushing snaps. Carries, just call it carries. Rushing snaps. I don't know. What am I saying? I would say there's no real receiving upside to him, at least that we've seen. It's going to be interesting how he plays, though, behind this new offensive line for Texas A&M. They lost 4 starters from last year. Luckily, they're keeping their best offensive lineman from last year, and he's playing a tackle now. But still, it's something to monitor. Fumbles, drops higher than you would like is what it is. The fact of the matter is this man's game just translates. It just does. And then number 1, Breece Hall. Of course he is. This guy, 63 forced missed tackles last season, was tied for first among 2022 prospects. Keep in mind, Sincere McCormick was the guy that he was tied with. Very sturdy base, great contact balance. It's insane. This man. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. He's very sturdy. The contact balance is insane, and I love the explosiveness. The dude cuts on a dime. He's very decisive as a runner. And that says a lot because it's not like Iowa State. It's not like their run blockers are good. It's not like they are. They're not. Breece Hall was hit a lot of times in the backfield. A lot of times in the backfield. I love his ability to make something out of nothing. Totally goes against the laws of thermodynamics. That's what he's doing. He's breaking thermodynamics when he takes a carry. It is what it is. Is he similar to David McCormick or David Montgomery? Potentially, maybe. I think he's got a bit better speed, but pest control's here. Sorry about that. Regardless, this guy, he's got the longevity. He's got the stamina to be a bell cow. Not that necessarily he has to be, though, at the NFL. Decent enough receiver. Does have a few drops. They have been an issue. But that's it for the video. My pest guy is here. My dogs are going wild, so I better get to them. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. And that's it for the video. Till next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.